Hey everybody, welcome back. Okay, so it's actually the next evening here, and I still have the clock up and you'll see it's still working and it's showing the correct time. But now we're going to move into something much more exciting, and that is forms. Now, forms don't sound exciting, but when it comes to JavaScript and forms, it can be because some people learn JavaScript just for forms because JavaScript has built-in functions just for forms, and it's really a good language to use. So what we're going to do is I would save that digital clock somewhere if you want just to kind of mess with it, but I'm just going to wipe out all my code here. Um, you can do whatever you'd like with yours, and then I'm going to wipe that out right there. And then I'm going to clear the browser just to make sure it cleared. Yep, it did. Okay, now let's make a form. And let's just do, I don't know, username, input, type equals text. If you don't know about HTML forms, this is going to not be a good lesson for you the next 2 or 3. So I would suggest watching some tutorials on forms, but if you do, then continue and you'll understand what I'm doing here. Type equals password, input type equals submit, value equals submit, close that. Okay, now let's look at our form here. Boom, got a simple form. Okay, now if we go into our JavaScript and we want to access the form, we would do it just like you do with a lot of things. You would go to document and then dot forms, and it sets up forms almost like an array. How an array starts at 0, it's going to hold each form as its own object starting at 0. So if you had two separate forms, set of form tags. So if you have an open form tag and a closed form tag, and then you have a completely different set, open and closed form tags down here, this would be form 0 and this would be form 1. Okay, so in here we'll do forms 0 dot, and then we're going to do length just like we did in some of the other ones, and we're going to put this into a variable, and then we're going to do document.write x. And if we hit refresh, you're going to see that shows 3. Now let me explain why it shows 3. So it shows 3 because it's telling you what the entire length of the form is as far as inputs in the form. So you have 1 input, 2 input, 3 inputs. So 1, 2, and 3 is what it's counting, which is why it's showing you that. Okay, so now that is the basic simple way to access forms. Okay, now if I want to access something specific in the form, it goes even further and it allows me to go to elements, and it'll be the exact same thing. It starts at 0, so it would be 0, 1, 2. So if I want to do I don't know, let's put value equals test for this one. And we'll get more into this later. I just kind of want to show you this for the sake of this tutorial. You're going to see it says test, and it also filled in that value because that's what I did in the HTML here, is I used value to fill in what that value is. But here it went elements 0 because that's the first element. Now if I do this and I do value equals password, now we're not going to see it when it comes up because it's the password element, so it shows the dots. But if I do 1 right here, now I hit refresh, even though it shows the dots, it's still going to show me the word password. Okay, so that's how you access the form. So remember, an open and closed form tag equals 1 number. So it would be 0, and then like I said, this would be 1, and then this would be 2, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that's the simple basic way, kind of simple basic, to access forms in JavaScript. In the next tutorial, I'm going to go into more detail, and you'll see some easier ways to do things. All right? Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.